Hi guys, so today we want to talk to you a little bit about other ways to utilize the equity in your property. So if you watched one of our last videos, we talked a lot about how you can utilize the equity to grow your net worth by acquiring more investment properties. But today we just thought we'd talk about some other ways that the equity in your house can help kind of with your financial situation or help you accomplish some other goals. So Graver, what would be one way we see people get a good benefit from doing cash out refinances to take the advantage of the equity in their house?
Right. The first one is if you've got a lot of credit card, like high credit card debt, a great way is to get some of your equity, especially because what we see a lot of times is usually it might start out like a medical or something, but then it kind of just gets away from you, right? Mm-hmm. And it's really hard to get that under control. So with all the equity in your home, you can pull that money out and pay off all your credit cards, get it all into like one payment, and then you can manage it from there. So that's really an easy one to start out with.
I kind of call it like a reset. Sometimes
Right.
people just like medical events or life happens or something comes up and all of a sudden you have all this credit card debt and you're making minimum payments, but you're not really getting anywhere.
Right.
And so it can be a really great way to kind of like financially reset your life. We see people make huge, I mean, it's like such a relief and huge benefits to them. So definitely something to consider because it can really impact like the amount you're putting out monthly can go down substantially depending on how much credit card debt you have.
Right, yeah, it's huge. It's really what I like to consider a game changer for you if you fit in that certain situation. The neat thing about this is, the great thing about the really good loan officers is we're going to look at that, and not everyone needs to just take cash out to pay off your credit cards, right? It needs to make sense. So we're not just going to be really pushing for you to do it just so we can get a loan, right? We're really going to look down and make sure that it makes sense. Another opportunity is, a lot of times people lately, the last couple of years, they've been trying to basically move up in the market, right? But the market's so crazy in our area that it just doesn't make sense. So what you can do is really kind of take maybe a more holistic look at your house, and maybe you want to redo the kitchen, redo the bathroom, redo your living room. Maybe you want to blow out and make your master bedroom, whatever you want to add to it. So there's a lot of things like that a cash out refinance, the equity in your home, you can look at grabbing into that and really pouring it into your investment, which is your home, and you can make it that much more, and it might be obviously a lot cheaper than trying to go out and buy a new home.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of people who are like, okay, if I sell my house, I can't necessarily, like, where am I gonna go?
Right.
Can I get anything better or bigger? And so they're kind of deciding to stay put, which then they're like, but I don't love, there's reasons I wanna move. So then, but they have a lot of equity. So taking out the equity of your house and kind of pouring it back into updating or remodeling can be a way you can stay in your house for years to come.
Yeah, so I feel like we covered a couple really good scenarios. Is there anything else that we could talk about that would maybe help out our clients?
Sometimes we do see people who have kids that are gearing up to go to college.
Oh, because that's cheap.
Yeah, that are taking, like all of a sudden getting to that point and realizing maybe they didn't save as much as they would have hoped and they really want to help their kids. So this is one of the ways that they look to do it, by taking some of the equity out of their home and paying for college. So that's another one.
Yeah.
Any, kind of these big life events, sometimes it's a good thing to look at versus putting it on a credit card.
Or taking a lot of student loans, because we see that too. A lot of people, they're just buried in their student loan debt. So, I mean, sometimes that certain situation works out, but also if you have the equity in and that's what your plan is all along, it's a great opportunity to do that.
Generally speaking, mortgage rates, at least currently, are going to be lower than student loan rates. I don't know if that will always be the truth, so if you're watching this 10 years from now. But yeah, so generally speaking, it's just kind of a good way to kind of keep your payments all in one spot. And you can also do this while, if you're in a good financial position, but while shortening your term, we could look at 15 years, different things like that to make it so you're still paying your house off and all this debt off in the same amount of time. Or we can go to a 20-year term or 25-year term, just kind of depending on where you're at. But people worry about that, and there's ways around that we can look at.
Absolutely. So really lots of different situations that really the equity in your home can really be advantageous for them.
Now's a great time to look at that.